folks, welcome back. It's 8:53 a.m. on the 12th of June 2019. I think I was successful in sneaking out of the house without the cats becoming any wiser. Sometimes they make it damn near impossible. They'll nest on my camera bags and scratch at the straps and unzip zippers and do all kinds of nefarious things when they think I'm about to leave. So I have to be very, very, very clandestine in the way I approach getting out of the house. So today we're going down to the Natchez Trace, part of it that's in Tennessee, and we're probably only going to go about 60 miles down to visit a waterfall that I've never gone to before, and the weather is supposed to be overcast or mostly overcast, which should be conducive to shooting this waterfall. It takes about 45 minutes to get to the northern terminus of the Natchez Trace, and at that point we're another hour out from my first stop, and we'll see what we see along the way. About to step out in the middle of Highway 96 and see if we can get a picture of this bridge. You see it in the distance, but first I'm going to let this traffic get by so that I don't get mashed like a possum. Pulled over here on the old Trace Drive, part of the Natchez Trace. It's some sort of loop. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it accesses some of the old actual Natchez Trace. Let's see if I can pull a woodlands composition here. What I'm looking at is these four trunks. This small guy right beside him with the bow eclipsing. I don't know if that's going to hold up his art or not, but it struck my eye. Let's see what we can figure out with the big camera. And as I was walking the trail, I noticed there's an isolated mimosa tree that's in bloom across the Buffalo River here. Buffalo River was fairly easily forded at this point by the old timers, as long as it hadn't rained hard recently. So we're going to see if we can't shoot across the narrow river using some river grass and greenery as foreground interest, and we're going to shoot with a slightly long lens, I think. I don't know till I look. Well, across the river I've got a mimosa tree, and I'm hoping I get some cloud cover here to put it in all shadowed light, because it's a little dappled now and it may be a tricky exposure with the dynamic range being what it is, with some of it in the sunshine and some of it in the shadow. So I'm going to frame it up and see what it looks like and go from there. Got the 32 to 64 lens on here right now, and what I think I'm going to do is typical shoot in the woods thing and put the longest lens I have for this Fujifilm GFX camera, which will be a 120 macro, and that'll hopefully allow me to isolate this a little bit better. And then we'll wait for even light. I think the thing to do is to put a ND filter on here so that I can make this water smooth out a little bit. I struggled with this mimosa tree a little bit. It never did even out with the lighting. The sun just stuck around. It wouldn't go behind a cloud. So I wound up blending two exposures, one for the bright part of the picture, one for the dark part of the picture, and then put some layers together in Photoshop. I wound up putting on an Orton effect and doing some other blurring, using some masks, dropping some saturation, and I broke a lot of rules. I guess my question is, did I break enough rules or did I break too many rules? Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. This is the actual Natchez Trace, not the road, not the paved road. This is the actual trace, the site of the trace. You can see how it's sort of a worn rut that was well traveled early 1800s and before by Indians and animals all. Guess it was a natural route. Andy Jackson used this to travel, got his troops to battle in New Orleans this way. Meriwether Lewis of Lewis and Clark expeditions actually died in this old inn over here. This is the Grinder House, I believe. His death was under mysterious circumstances, and he left the trail to spend the night here and was found dead or died the next morning, and he's buried down that way about 100 yards. There's a monument for him. Let's see if we can find something worth shooting over here. I'm Mike Mitchell, and I'm down on the Natchez Trace with this lovely couple from Arizona. And what are y'all's names?
Chuck and Ann Murray.
Chuck and Ann Murray, and they're on the way to Detroit City to race hydroplanes in a radio control environment. And so we just happened to catch each other, and they got a beautiful beagle in the truck, guarding everything, and so I feel secure with him here.
Thank you very much. You have a great day. And how do we find your website?
I'm going to give you a way to do it. Pardon me.